Welcome to another episode of the Elevate Collection podcast. Today we are so excited to bring you Scorp Dezel.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah.
We can't hear you.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, thanks for having me.
You gotta pretend like we're in the studio.
I'm in the studio, man.
Right.
What is that
I'm used
from?
to like having these microphones, but I see them a lot though on podcasts though. It's like the new thing.
Yeah, see?
It's a vibe.
We feel like we're
Yeah.
official this way.
Nah, I like it.
I'm in the studio, man. What is that from, y'all? I told you. What is that from? Nah, quit playing. I'm in the
Everybody-
studio, man.
Where's that from?
Usher Confessions. Y'all remember that? When you get to call it. Okay,
Yeah, I
fine.
remember
Anywho.
that.
Okay. Will you tell us, of course, we know that you are a platinum producer, but can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now in this world and how you got there?
Right now, just working as a platinum producer. You know, we always in the studio, always trying to come up with that next big record. You know, looking for talent. You know, always, and just trying to go hard. I mean, I'm doing my camps too right now. You know, so it's amazing. Like that's our main thing.
Okay, he's not giving himself enough credit. Can you tell us a couple of records that you've produced on that are platinum records?
Yes.
Because it's stuff we've heard.
Did like Power Glide for Ray Shermer. I did a record, French Montana, Chris Brown, Sway Lee. What else? I did a Joyner Lucas record featuring Young Thug called The War. You know.
You see how cool he is about this? He's like, I did this, I did that.
No big deal.
That's cool stuff.
Nah, I appreciate it.
You gotta celebrate yourself. Those are big wins still. Okay. So with that being said, and now you're doing these camps, right? So these camps, of course, I think will contribute to like impact and legacy. But what is your why? Like, why music? Like, why are you doing music the way you're doing it?
I just think why just because it's been in my life, you know, since I was young. I was exposed to music at like 4 or 5 years old. So, you know, when I got to like junior high, I started, you know, when the hip hop scene was just really like at its peak, you know, started making beats and connecting with artists and, you know, started off with my own group. You know, I was in a group when I was like 15, 16, so it's just always chapters of my life I've been a part of music, you know, so it just turned into like, you know, one person to another, networking, then moving to Atlanta and working with people out here, you know, and it just took off.
What does music mean to you? Because music is a really big part of our life. It like does something chemically to us. We will literally hang up the
Facts, that's
phone
real.
and say, "Hold on, I gotta put on this. I gotta put on a certain genre. I gotta put on a certain like feeling, getting the vibe. I need to set the tone. I need to set the mindset. Like,
Yeah.
what does music do for you?
Music is basically everything to me. You know, I can't even imagine life without music. And being a creator is even more deeper, you know. I mean, the average person that doesn't make music, create music, yeah, when they listen to music, it feels good. And, you know, it helps you, you know, go about your day and get through things. But being a creator is like, it's a whole nother level, you know. It's like something you really in love with, and you wouldn't, like, break that love for nobody, you know.
We talk a lot about the secret sauce, and Alex and I are visionary, right? So we start to talk about an idea and we can visually see it play out. That's our superpower. How do these beats and the music and the words all come together for you?
It just starts with an idea. You never know where it's gonna end up. And if you hear something or you hear a writer that you feel like that can like write a perfect song to the beat, you'll send it to that writer, or a writer will come in and jot down the lyrics and the melodies and stuff, and then like, you know, when you first hear it, you like, oh, this is good. Like, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, every song we create sounds good, but kind of like when the days go by, or you kind of know if you got a hit too, but like, say, you know, I listened to a song that I created a week ago and it's still giving me that same feeling, that's when you kind of know like, oh, this is something, you know, and it kind of grows on you too. And then I might send that to an artist, and if they had the same feeling, they gonna definitely record to the record, you know, and then it ends up coming out, go through all the process and everything.
Now you're talking about, well, you send it to writers and different things like that. So something that you're doing that I believe contributes to impact and legacy building, we've looked at legacy through another perspective as of late when it comes to creating another seat at the table for somebody else is also a part of legacy, not only just like your own and what you're doing to build wealth and build longevity and what your name's going to do for generations to come, but what's interesting is creating a seat at the table for somebody else. And you're doing this, I believe, through your camps. Can you tell us a little bit about your camps and what you're doing and who they're for?
Yes, I mean, I started off doing it just for my team, because I started like signing writers and producers, because over the years I've been so like focused on just being this big producer, and like I would like put people like writers and other producers in position to get a deal or to work with a big artist. And then like after a while I just said, you know what, I want to build my own team. So I started signing writers, and I wanted to I was like, okay, all the writers I have and producers, I want to put together a camp just so we can build our catalog. So I ended up doing a camp in Nashville just so I can just, you know, vibe out with my team and we can just work together. And that went so good. And after the camp, I was just like, look, man, I'm on to something right now, you know. I also noticed record label executives was reaching out to me and wanted me to work with they artists and writers that come to my camp. So I said, hey, this is something I need to do all the time, because I realized I'm getting a lot of attention and people was like noticing me, you know, at the tables, like my name is coming up in meetings and stuff like that. So I said, hey, you know what, I'm gonna start doing this camp thing. And then I realized people started calling me like, yo man, your camp is crazy. And I always do like a recap video I post on Instagram, and people will say, hey man, you need to keep doing that, man. This looks real good for you. And it's like, I feel like I kind of found my niche in the music business, because at the end of the day, you could be real talented, but if you don't have that niche, if you don't have that one thing that separates you from everybody else, it's going to be hard for you to kind of like get noticed or have some type of success, because at the end of the day, everybody's really doing music, you know? It's really oversaturated, so you have to do something that's going to stick you out. And I just felt like doing these camps is the main thing that's sticking me out from everybody else.
I love that. If you were to give advice to somebody else that wanted to do outside of, you know, finding your niche, then what would that be outside of that? Like, is it a mindset thing that you've had to master? Like, what got you to the point of finding that niche for yourself?
You just have to be open and listen to your inner self, because being open is just like standing outside, like stepping out of your comfort zone. You know, I know this for years. I noticed all I did was wake up, go to my studio, make beats, send them to the artist, or send them to the person that can get it to the bigger artist that has closer relationships. And I just did that over and over again. Then I realized when it's time for like the business and for us to get paid and to talk about publishing and points and stuff, I'm always never in full control. Like I'm always the one, I feel like I always got the scraps, you know? Like, so I was just tired of that, and I started getting bored. Like I know music is my calling, but I need to do something different. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna step outside my comfort zone. Maybe I can fall back from making beats. Let me go grab some other talent and help work with them and put two and two together. I'm real good at taking one writer and putting it with another producer, and they coming up with a dope record. Even though I'm not really hands-on, I'm still a part of it because it was still my idea, you know. So it's really just stepping out of your comfort zone and listening to your inner self. That's what I had to do. I had to really like listen, like, yo, what can I do different? Like, cause you know, I always used to hear that saying when they say like, what is it? It's like if you do the same thing over and they're expecting the same results.
The definition of insanity.
Yeah, like, and I'm starting to think like, yo, am I crazy? Am I insane or something? Because I want something different, but I'm doing the same thing, you know? So in order to get different results out of something, I have to change what I'm used to doing, you know?
We love to hear that. A lot of people don't even understand, I mean, at the core of who we are was real estate, right? And we have transcended into so many different lanes, and a lot of people don't understand like why we do what we do. But that's exactly why. One, we're doing what feels right to us and feels right for our business and feels right for our souls, like what feels right when it comes to connection and being able to elevate the lives of other people. We've found different mechanisms to do that. So I think when you're talking about finding your niche, I feel like that's what we have inevitably just kind of wandered into, and that's been a really beautiful place to be. With you being where you're at, did you ever have like a mama I made it moment within your career?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
When was that?
When I got my first plaque, I felt like I made it. And when I got my first record deal, publishing deal, I felt like I made it because I got the biggest check I ever seen in my life. You know, so it's different levels. I feel like though, like I feel like I made it, but then sometimes I feel like I haven't made it where I need to be. You know. And
That's for real.
It is.
But it's levels to it, because at first I thought at one time I would never receive a plaque. Like I'm getting older, I'm like, man, I'm seeing all these people that I know.
Tell everybody what a plaque is. Like, I understand what a plaque is, but maybe every listener doesn't understand. What is a plaque?
A plaque is when the song or album sells, well, you have your goal, and if you sell 500,000 albums or singles, that's a gold. If you sell 1 million, that's platinum. If you sell 10 million, that's diamond. So
that's the mama I made it moment.
Then also, yeah, the first time I was really in the studio with a big artist, when I was in,
Can you say who, or are you on NDA?
yeah, I could say who.
Okay.
That's a few.
I'm like, we're nosy. I want to know.
I could say when I was in the studio with French Montana and Sway Lee, I was probably felt like I made it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have an artist that's like, I want to produce for them? Do you have like a bucket list artist that you want to produce for?
Yes, of course. I got a lot of artists I would love to produce for.
But is there one that we can obsessively like tag in this post when we post this episode? Who?
I want to work with Kendrick.
Ooh.
Kendrick Lamar.
We love that. Let's manifest that for you.
Yes.
That sounds exciting.
Nah, definitely. I would love to work with K-Dot, like, you know.
Guys, I'm holding in the corniest joke, but I have to say it.
Say it.
Are you going to be ketchup?
Alex has entered her dad joke
I
era.
get it. Yeah, I'll be ketchup. All right.
Guys, I'm done for this episode. I can't ask you any more questions because I took myself way too far.
No, but just to touch on that for a moment, because it just popped in my head. Like Mustard was like, I remember in the interview he said he was sending Kendrick 5 beats a day
What?
for years.
Talk about persistence.
Yeah, and never like giving up when you have a dream and just going after it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you have to do. Like you just got to keep pushing. I remember, I don't know, I could say this when I felt like I made it too. Like back when G Unit days, when Young Buck left G Unit, I met Young Buck in Denver. Well, I've been to him already from being on tour with Cash Money when I was like a teenager, but he came.
What?
You said that so casual.
Like it rolled off his tongue.
I was on tour with Cash Money when I was a teenager.
But anyway.
Yeah, yeah, he was on there or whatever. I met him back then, but also I had met him in Denver again when I was living in Colorado, and got his email. This is back when emails first started popping and all that. And I sent him beats for like, well, it was probably like 4 or 5 months straight. And then when he did a song dissing 50 Cent and G on it, he did it to one of my beats.
What?
Yeah.
Were you like, that's the one?
It was crazy because I was working at a job and one of my coworkers came in and was like, Scorp, this your beat. He dissing G on it. And I'm like, what? And then he shouted me out. Buck shouted me out in the beginning.
Wait, do you have a producer tag?
Yeah.
Like, Mustard on the beat. What is yours?
It just say my name, Scorp. Like, Scorp Dezel, Scorp. Yeah.
Okay, I need to listen for it now.
Can you send us that so we can kick off the podcast?
No, I've never really been too big on tags though. Like I felt like I could never really just find the right tag for me. So I've never really been, but I do have one just to,
To say I got one.
Yeah.
But we understand.
Can we have a mastermind around that?
I know. I think we need to
Just throw
get in the
stuff
studio
out?
and just start throwing it against the wall and figure out what's going to work for you.
Yeah, I had a lot of people do different tags and stuff.
But you had never had Elevate do it.
Yeah, we could do it. Let's set it up.
We'll just add that to our provision list.
Our capabilities deck.
Yeah.
As featured on. I've got some good ones here recently.
Jordan, fun fact, has been featured on Black Enterprise. Claim to fame here.
That was me.
I always
Nice.
ask when there's no response to it, I'm like, I was in there with her, if that helps, because he's like, okay. But
No, that's awesome.
anywho. God, I love this stuff. Okay, so the question that we ask every podcast guest on every episode, what our audience, our connections, our community, what we can do to help move your needle forward in life and business. This could be something as simple as you need, you've been looking for this special Rolex. We might have a guy. You could be looking for, an opportunity that exists within a certain label or agency, like whatever it is. Is there something that anyone in this audience or community can do to help move your needle forward in life right now?
Yes, I think just content, really. This is a content-driven industry, and being that, like, I don't really do a lot of content, so, like, anything helps. Like,
Content. When you say content, can you be more specific when it comes to other people doing it? Is it sharing your content? Is it creating content around?
probably creating content.
Are you wanting to do that in the studio?
I do it sometimes. It's just so, like, sometimes I, like, put my phone on record and just, while I'm creating. But it's just so hard because it's like when I go in the studio and create, I'm zoned out. I don't really think about that,
You're locked in.
Yeah.
Sounds like we need to make another trip to the studio, which we have been to. Well, we went to one of them, by the way. We did get to
Yeah.
stop by a camp, and that was just a
So
really
cool.
incredible experience. My first time in the studio. So thank
Yeah,
you for
okay.
like, giving me
Appreciate
that
it.
experience. But it was so incredible to watch the process and go to room, right? Because you had
Right.
different beats going in different rooms with different writers, and it was really incredible to see the creativity coming together and the different vibe of the different rooms when they
Yes.
weren't connected.
And see, that's the thing. Like, I never thought I had that skill, because it's a skill to be able to go in each room and really listen and add something to that wherever they working on. So it's just like having these different writers and producers in different rooms, and I'm walking in and I'm saying, like, look, try it like this, or let's do it like this. And I think that's just real awesome, and that's the fun part I like about it.
I have one more question. How do you handle the ebbs and flows? How do you handle the moment when you're holding the biggest check you've ever received in your life and you get your plaque and you have that like post come down high and you're waiting for your next thing? How do you stay motivated and keep going in that moment?
Like waiting for the next big thing. You got to just stay grounded and focused.
What helps you stay grounded, though?
My family, my kids. Just life in general. Realizing how far I came, and never try to like get the big head. Because I always felt like like a lot of people say, "Scorp, you humble," but I always felt like this stuff can be taken away too. So I try not to overdo it, which is nothing too bad. I feel like as long as you don't disrespect nobody, but I do know, like, man, this can end tomorrow, and sometimes you think about that. I have to think about, man, maybe I may not never produce another record or another beat but thank God, it's somehow, some way, something always come through, and it's hard too, like being on Instagram, you go on Instagram, you see a lot of your peers, they winning Grammys, and just like the last Grammys that just passed, so many people I knew, had Grammys and was at the Grammy Awards, and that's something like, man, I need to get, focus on how I'm gonna get on the Grammys. And I seen Chris Brown album, which I was almost like on that part of that album, but it was just like a decision that me and my team had to make to go with another artist that wanted the same song Chris Brown wanted. But like, it feels good, and I'll be happy for my peers, but finding out what's going to be that next big break, or you just got to just work hard. Because I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of times the great things that happen, you never know. It just really comes out the blue, you know. You get a call and they be like, hey, yeah, you want to be producing Kendrick at next album or something, or
Manifesting that, okay.
yeah, like you don't really know. You just, but when you work hard, things like that happens, you know.
When you get Kendrick, when
yeah.
you get Kendrick, please let us know, because
Oh, definitely.
we will film your content, first of all, and second of all, like, we will be the loudest cheerleaders, and we believe words are so powerful, and we believe that we manifest the opportunities that we want. So, you know, putting those words out there and talking about it as if it's already yours, it's already happened, like, there is going to come a day where you're going to celebrate this moment with you, and I can't wait to look back on this moment.
I can't wait either.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast with us, spending some time with us, and my corny jokes. I really do appreciate it. They come sometimes, but no, we love having you, and we're so grateful to know you and be connected with you. Y'all, go in love, be elevated.
Thank you for having me again.